Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is just this is my little meet the teacher slide. So I'm going to share a little bit about me and then some expectations and things for NTI 2.0. So you all will be able to look at this as well after I present it. I'll show you kind of where I'm going to have it linked and things if you want to go back and look on it. So any of these buttons here, you can click on and it'll take you directly to that page. And it will tell you whatever that title is. So like if you click here, this is about me, here is about NTI 2.0 expectations and things like that. There's a little home icon button on each page that'll take you back to the home slide in case you get kind of lost in the slides. But my name is Miss Palmer, and this is my 8th year teaching, and it's my 8th year teaching first grade. So I love my firsties. First grade is my absolute favorite. I couldn't imagine teaching any other grade. What's really funny about me teaching at Schaffner is that I used to be a Schaffner Dolphin myself. So I went to Schaffner first grade through 5th grade and absolutely loved it. So it's really cool that I'm kind of back here and get to teach. So we'll just go here to a few of my favorite things. So this is just a little bit about me. So my favorite color is hot pink. My favorite store is Target. My favorite drink and snack is Pepsi and white chocolate covered pretzels. My favorite sports team is U of L. I graduated there from college with my bachelor's. My favorite fast food restaurant is Chick-fil-A, as I'm sure a lot of your kiddos are too. I have 2 kids, Landon, who is 3, and Scarlett, who is 8 months old. And she just started crawling and is all over the place. So she's a mess. That's my husband, Philip, there. And I have a dog named Callie, and she is a border collie and super, super sweet. So this little home button down at the bottom, that is where if you're looking at this later on your own and you get lost, you can always press that and go back to the home screen. So how is this going to work? Everything that your kiddos will be assigned will be on Seesaw. So Seesaw is the main platform that I am going to use for all assignments. I am going to pre-record lessons, and you won't just see me, you'll see the other first grade teachers because as you all know, virtual teaching is a lot of work. It's a lot more work than in the classroom. So me and my team, we like to split up the load. And so you will also see their faces too on pre-recorded lessons. It just makes our lives easier. And it's kind of cool that you all get to know all of the other first grade teachers as well. So there will be pre-recorded lessons on Seesaw, and everything that I'm talking about, you're going to be able to get to from Google Classroom. So if you ever get confused on where you're supposed to be or anything like that, always go back to Google Classroom, to my Google Classroom, and you will be able to find everything that you need. So if you got to come yesterday to the drive-by, I gave you a login sheet and there was a Seesaw login on there. I don't have assignments uploaded on there yet because I didn't want anybody to try and start working on anything, but there will be assignments obviously starting next week. And how I do that is that I will push out all assignments on Monday, and then they will not be due until Sunday evening. That is because, A, these are 6-year-olds, and I know that a lot of the times they're not going to be able to do things independently. They might have to have you help them log on to things, at least for a while. So I want you to be able to help them when you can. I know a lot of you are back to work. This is different than March, whereas a lot of people were home. So since a lot of you are back to work, pre-recorded lessons really worked well last year for my class because then they could watch things as they needed and they knew every Sunday things were due. So on Seesaw, that'll include all reading, writing, math, phonics lessons that you can complete on your own in any time. And then I said Sunday at midnight is when they will be due. So on Google Classroom, we won't actually be turning assignments in on there. You'll be turning assignments in on Seesaw, but Google Classroom will link you to everything you need. I made a little virtual classroom that I'll show you in just a minute on Google Classroom. And there's the student zone there with all kinds of things for students. and there's a parent lounge there for things for you all if you get confused or you need help with something. So I'll show you all that here in just a minute. So these are expectations kind of through Seesaw. You'll notice at the top that it says must be done daily in Google. So every day you do have to check in. Your child has to check in with me. This is per the state. This is not my choice. This is, I have to check in with your child every day, even if it's just through this check-in. So this page that you're seeing right in front of you is going to be linked in Google Classroom. It's going to be linked in my virtual classroom, and it's going to be linked in Seesaw. So you should never be able to lose this page that you're looking at right here, because I've linked it in several places for you. So you can see there's a Monday check-in, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You literally just click on it and it takes you to the check-in. So this does have to be done daily. Like I said, very, very important. This is super easy. What's your name? You type their name. How are you today? They can just type a little emoji. And this down here is more for parents. If there's any questions or anything you're working on and you need help with, this is an opportunity for you to ask me a little question. And then when you're done, you hit submit and it comes straight to me. Okay, so you see that that's up here daily. So, must be done weekly on Seesaw. Assignments are due at midnight. So all of this that we're expecting on Seesaw is not going to start the first week. This is going to start September 8th. The first couple of weeks, we're still going to have things on Seesaw, but it won't be all of this. Okay. I know this looks overwhelming, but it's really not. Once I kind of talk about it, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's very easy and very manageable. And remember, this is what I'm showing you right here is weekly. This is not daily what I'm expecting your child to do. This is weekly, okay? So for Math Weekly, there's a program called Zearn that we use, which if you got your logins yesterday, there's a login to Zearn on there, which remember, I made a mistake. I apologize. If you all have CNXT, I already said that to you all on CNXT. And if you don't have CNXT, please sign up, because that's going to be a super easy way for me to message you guys and for you all to message me. But there's a one-time class code on Zearn that the very, very, very first time you get on, you have to type in. And I had two of the letters and numbers mixed up. That's what I get for trying to do this late at night. So I apologize. But the one-time Zearn code is capital T, capital H, 2, capital Z, 7, capital R. And once again, I'm going to retype that on your all's login sheets. I will re-email those out to everyone, even if you got a hard copy, just so you are not confused, because that was my mistake on the one-time login on Zearn. Now, after you do that one-time login on Zearn, you won't need that login anymore. You'll just need your normal login. So 3 or more lessons a week on Zearn. These are very easy to go through. There's little recordings of a teacher teaching. There's little activities that your kiddo has to do. Our kiddos in the past have absolutely loved these lessons. So 3 is very, very manageable. If they want to do more than 3, very much so welcome to. But I can see on my end, just so everybody knows, I can see what they do complete. So if you only complete 1, I can see that you've only completed 1. So you have to make sure you do those 3. There'll be 1 math activity a week on Seesaw that'll go along with what they did on Zearn. And then we have a subscription to Math Seeds. A lot of you, if you were in kindergarten at Schaffner last year, used Math Seeds already. So you do have a new login and you're kind of starting over fresh. So 1 lesson a week on Math Seeds. If you want to do more on Math Seeds, welcome to. But Math Seeds has the exact same login, so it's on your login sheet once I send it. The very first time you get on Math Seeds and Reading Eggs, it'll give you a placement test. So you do that placement test. Once you've done that, then it'll place you on a lesson. Please do not help your kiddos at all on this placement test on math or reading. If they are struggling, let them struggle. Because what's going to happen is if you help them, and I trust me, I do all 24 kids in my class on my own, and I do not help them at all. Because what's going to happen is if you help them, it's going to put them on a high lesson and they're going to struggle every week and it's not going to be appropriate for them, and it's not going to help them any. So I know it's tempting to help your kiddo, especially if you see them struggling. I get it. I have to do it every day in the classroom. But productive struggle is only going to help them in the end. So do not help them on this math seeds placement test or this reading eggs placement test. I know their reading levels from last year. So if your kiddo is kind of low, but then they magically end up on a really high reading eggs lesson, I'm going to make them redo it. So please, please, please do not help them any. So reading weekly, there's going to be one weekly recorded guided reading lesson. I might also be meeting live with kiddos, but we'll work around that once I get these beginning of the year assessments done. So that's why it says meet with teacher as needed for reading groups. But a lot of the times there might be just a recorded reading group lesson that you all can do on your own together. There'll be one weekly shared reading lesson with an activity on Seesaw to go along with it. And then, of course, one lesson for reading eggs a week. So same as math seeds, you're welcome to do more. And always, always, always just read with your kid 20 minutes a day if you can. I mean, even if it's just them getting on Epic and listening to a book, or them getting on Bookflix and listening to a book, I cannot stress enough how important reading is. We read a ton in the classroom, and obviously virtually it's a little harder to do that. So 20 minutes a day, a book at home, even if it's a book at home before you go to bed. But I just cannot stress that enough. And as your kids get more independent, let them start reading to you. You can start reading to them in the beginning if they're low, but if you know that they can do it, you let them read to you. And always make sure you're not just telling them the word. Let them kind of try and stretch it out and figure it out, or give them hints, tell them to look at picture clues, things like that, just so they can continue to grow as a reader. So writing, there's going to be one weekly recorded writing lesson a week with an activity on Seesaw. Phonics, so this is like letter sounds and things like that. There's going to be one weekly recorded lesson on Seesaw and an activity to kind of go with it. Those are pretty short and easy and to the point. It's just practice with those letter sounds and hunks and chunks. So over on this other side to the right, this just talks about the live meetings daily. I am only going to do one live daily unless I start meeting with your reading group Monday through Thursday from 11:30 to 12. So it's a 30-minute session. I realize a lot of your kiddos might be at the YMCA or wherever else. If you can get them on, please do. I will record those sessions, and I'll show you where I'll put those once I record them. But so if they miss it, you all can always watch it at a different time. But these are some things, and the meetings are going to be on Google Meet. I know I'm using Zoom right now. That's just because I'm with you all, the parents, but meetings with my, oh, someone else is in the waiting room. Okay. Meetings with the kiddos have to be on Google Meet. So on Google Meet, when I meet with your kiddos daily from 11:30 to 12, we're going to be doing community building activities. We're going to be doing the phonics dance, shared reading stories, math lessons, number talks. So it is going to be beneficial for your child. It's not just going to be a playtime. So I don't want you to think it's going to be just a wasted time. I am going to use as much of that time as I can to be productive and get some things in those little brains. And at the bottom, you can see where it just says additional practice. So this is if your kiddo wants extra practice, if they're really high and you're seeing them getting done with things quickly and you feel like they need extra practice, anything in that additional practice box is extra. So I don't want you to think that has to be completed weekly. This is just for you extra. So like I said, complete extra reading eggs, math seeds, practice sight words, practice writing and writing notebook, which you got if you picked up the NTI kit. If you did not pick up the NTI kit, there are going to be some teachers at the building, I think starting at 11 today, and you can always pick it up today. I left extras there. And depending on how many I have left, I may end up like one day next week doing an evening time pickup, because I really want to get those in your all's hands, because it's a writing notebook. There's headphones, there's a stylus, there's a lot of things that's going to help your kiddo be successful for NTI. So I really want to get those kits in your all's hands, and it's all for you all. You do not need to return that back to me once we come to school. Okay. So these are the live sessions like I just talked about, Monday through Thursday from 11:30 to 12. On Google Meet, once you have your kiddos username and password, the Google username and password, that is how you log in. Once you log into Google, it should keep them logged in for the whole rest of the time. So there's a little Google Meet icon that you will click, and every single day, our login code will be the same. It will be Palmer Firsties. That is how you get in. So 11:30 to 12 every day, the ID is Palmer Firsties, no spaces, all lowercase. So every day, that's where we will be daily. So for grading, let me first say that grading your student is going to be based on them working toward whatever standard that we're focusing on, okay? So this just kind of breaks it down even more so for you all. I won't read everything on here. If you've been at Schaffner before, you know the EP, GP, SP, LP terms. I will not be giving any PBs. There will be no zeros given. Your kiddo might get this little button down here that says, please try again. If that's so, that means they really missed the mark and they really need to redo that assignment. But obviously, if they get a 4, excellent. They went above and beyond. They did everything that they need to do. If they got a 3, that was good progress. And they're working towards that standard. 2, satisfactory. 1, little progress. And like I said, if they get that please try again and submit button, they are going to have to redo that assignment. That is the expectation. So these little buttons that you're seeing here, the 4, 3, 2, 1, and the please try again, I will put those on the Seesaw assignment. So you will be able to see what your kiddo got as soon as I send it back to them. And if they get a 2 or a 1, it's not required to redo it. If you want them to redo it, that's great. But the only time I'm asking that your kiddo redoes anything is if they get that button that says please try again. So these are office hours for me. So office hours are going to be on this Zoom link. So this exact Zoom link that you're on, which I have this in the presentation, and you'll just be able to click on the link. You won't have to need a code or anything because office hours are for you. So I am only going to get on the Zoom link if you're requesting that we meet. I'm not just going to set on here for this time, but this is the time that we can get on Zoom one-on-one. And if you have questions or need me to show you anything or you and your kiddo anything, this is the time to do it. So it will be daily from 10 to 11 and then 3 to 3:30. So an hour and a half daily. This is also a time that if you need me to call you for some reason, we're supposed to be getting a RingCentral number from JCPS. We have not gotten that yet, but for as of right now, I can use my personal cell phone and *67, so my number is blocked. So this is the time from 10 to 11 daily and 3 to 3:30 daily. If you need to video chat with me or we need to talk on the phone, this is when you need to do it. Anytime outside of this time, I'm asking that you email me or message me on CNXT. So if you do not have CNXT, please, please, please get that because it is like a text message. It's super easy, super quick. And I can start a private message with you so everybody in the whole class does not need to see what we're talking about. So because I do have 2 small kiddos, like I said, and they will be going to daycare obviously during the day, but in the evenings, I have my family and things going on as well. So a message or an email is the best way to get a hold of me outside of these office hours. And then this is contact info. You've already seen my email because I've emailed you all. It's danielle.palmer@jefferson.kyschools.us. RingCentral, like I said, more info to come later. So that should be like a JCPS number that should be coming from me. I will let you all know that ahead of time. Messaging, school CNXT app. Please get that if you have not. I have sent out a Situm Genius for individual Google Meets for your kiddos for beginning of the year assessments. If you have not signed up, please do so. There's only a few of you all that have not. It was attached to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 people that have not. So please do that if you have not. If you're not sure if you have, email me, message me, and I'll let you know. But these are just going to be for beginning of the year assessments or anytime I need to meet with your kiddo one-on-one. I might shoot you a Sign Up Genius to sign up for a designated time. I also have a class Facebook page, so please like that page. It's Miss Palmer's First Cs. You can see it right there. I put little updates on there. The PTA, Schaffner PTA has a page, so I always share things that they have on there. So that page is just beneficial if you have Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, no big deal. But if you do, like that page, and you'll see some updates and things from me. So now what I want to show you all is my Google Classroom page, if I can get to it. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, so this is what the Google Classroom page looks like. So once you have your kiddos login info, this is what you should see. It's just Miss Palmer's Firsties 2020, 2021. And make sure, please, you all, anything you're logging into, please make sure it says my name, it's my class. You, for some reason, didn't get logged into the wrong class. That's so important, because if you're in the wrong class, you're obviously going to miss everything that we're doing. So this is what it should look like. It'll say this. Now you're looking at it from my end right now, but obviously from your kiddos' end, it might look a little different, but it's going to, you'll see the crayons, you'll see Miss Palmer's Firsties and all of that. So this is all that I have on my Google Classroom, or your kiddos' Google Classroom. I do not plan to blow up their Google Classroom every day and put a bunch of things on there. I want to make it minimal and easy for you all to get to as possible. So let me show you some of the things that are on here. So down at the very bottom, there are how-to video links. So what those are, I'll click on it and show you. These are video links on how to use Seesaw, how to use Google Meet, how to use Zearn. This explains the grading even more in depth than I already explained it. So these are here for you to access always. So if you are having trouble getting on Seesaw, please go here. If you're having trouble getting on Google Meet, please go here. If you're having trouble getting on Zearn, please go here. These are here, they will stay here. I will never take them off of this main page that you're looking at. You click on it, it'll take you to a YouTube video, and you'll see one of the first grade teachers explaining to you how to use it. So that will always stay on Google Classroom. The next thing that's there is special area info. So they have an orientation video. I'm not going to click on that right now, but it's linked right there. So you click on this page and it'll tell you the schedule. So it'll tell you all the teachers, their office hours, and their access code. Excuse me, their access codes for their Google Meets. So then once you look at that, you can click on first grade schedule, and it will tell you the times daily and for obviously which special area they are able to get on for their special area time. And remember, they do have to take grades as well, so you do have to participate in those as much as you can. This right here are live lesson links. So this is where, when I do the live lessons daily, this is where they will go. Now, right now, none of these buttons are clickable because we haven't recorded any live lessons for you all to watch. So they'll be under these little buttons. You can find them. That way, if you missed a live and you want to go back and watch it so your kiddo doesn't miss anything. This is just the Seesaw login, which I'll click on it. It's obviously logged in under me, but I'll kind of show you what it looks like. So your kiddo got their own ID for Seesaw. That is what you use to log in every time. There's also a little QR code that you can scan that's really easy. And you can scan it right from your computer if you hold it up to the camera. So this is kind of what Seesaw looks like for those of you that might not be familiar. I believe if you were at Schaffner last year, you used it. Like I said, this is logged in under me right now, but please make sure it says Miss Palmer's Firsties. You should see my picture. There's the kiddos' names, activities. You will be able to see, this is just a sample. This is not an activity for them. I just put this up here so you all could see. You will see the activity here. Whatever your kiddo has to do will be sent to them. So don't worry about if they have the right activity or not. It will be here. So you click add a response once you're ready to respond, and then you'll submit it once you're ready to submit. I'm not going to go through all of that right now because there is a how-to video, remember, down here that explains Seesaw more in depth. So then next is the virtual classroom that I created. This is just a little Bitmoji classroom. This is kind of for fun, but there's also a lot of great things here as well. So you can see on this very first slide, once again, you can click here to go to that daily check-in that I was talking about. There's a student zone and a parent lounge. So let me take you really quick to the student zone. The student zone, this is more for your kiddos. So there's going to be clickable links. Anytime that there's this little hand, that means that you can click on there and it'll take you somewhere. Okay. This section is more for kiddos. They can go to one of their reading groups. Let's say they're in the Cat in the Hat reading group, it'll take them there. They can go to their word wall. Once they're working on their word wall, they can go back to that page. Anytime you see this page in the right corner, that'll take you back to the main room for your kiddo. Anytime you see the home button, that'll take you back to this main screen. The parent lounge, let me show you all that because that's really more for the parents. This is a little place where you will find a calendar for things that are coming up for you all, a newsletter that you can click on and look at. This is the Sign Up Genius to schedule for reading assignments. This right here is the Meet the Teacher slide that we're looking at right now. Here's the how-to videos again. Click here if you need to Zoom with me, but remember to message me first. So my Zoom link is linked right here. Remember, you have to message me first and let me know that we're going to have a meeting. This is for the special area labs right here. You click on that. So this is, like I said, more for you all. And then remember, this little black home button takes you back to the main screen if you ever get confused or lost. So there's the virtual classroom. And then at the very top is the daily check-in again. So like I've said, this daily check-in is in quite a few places for you all. Please, 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 please check in every single day. I hate to mark your kid absent on Infinite Campus because at some point they did not check in for that day. But that is what's required of me, and I'm being honest with you all about that so you know how important it is. So they're right at the top, and this also tells you weekly expectations. So I'm going to resend all of the codes and logins today to everybody, even if you got a hard copy, just since I messed up on that little Zearn login. So I will resend those out today. So once you get those, you will be able to log into anything that I showed you today, anything that I talked about, and you will be able to see all of that. So